Cancer. What's up, y'all? How you doing? What is good? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's going on with you guys in the first week of October. October week 1. It's a weekly check-in, so it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you are in need of a personal reading, you can go straight to my website if you want, tarotwithrich.com. I do have a link for that right down here in the description of this video. If you happen to be catching this video on time, tomorrow, September 27th at 11 a.m., we're going to be doing our next round of live readings right here on this channel. $22.22. You can pre-order on my website. The ones that come in first get read first. And the video will remain on my channel permanently with the readings timestamped in the comments, so you can come back to it anytime you want. And you can have me call you whatever name you want. You don't have to have your name publicly. I got all that taken care of on my website. You can read up more about that on my website. Link is in the description. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right. Let's see how the energy's looking between Cancer and your situation and the person you're dealing with. How's it looking? October week 1. Ooh, Lover's card. Boy, this is one hell of a strong old ass connection. Whoo, man. Not something you can just walk away from. At all. And for those of you wondering, yes, they feel the connection too. That does indicate a mutual connection. They may not be expressing it or showing it the way you would like, but oh yeah, they feel it too. 100%. Five of Pentacles reverse. So here's what makes no sense to me. Is somebody trying to break the silence? It's almost kind of looking like somebody's trying to break the silence, but it's not being reciprocated. Like blocked communication. Like what this feels like to me is somebody trying to reach out and the other person saying, nah, fuck you. Block. Letting the tower burn to the ground. That's kind of the energetic dynamic that we're dealing with here. Kind of feels like a on and off, push, pull, runner, chaser type, type situation here. But, I mean, no forward movement. Even when and if the two of you do end up coming together, no forward movement. A lot of tension here. I think your guard is sky fucking high. And you may not even be comfortable letting this person know how you feel. I really don't think you trust this person, honestly. Some of you dealing with a Sagittarius, could be a fellow Cancer, but I feel like that's your energy. Okay, well, let's, I got Gemini here too. Let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Two more shuffles, two more. Ass strength cards. See, they're really holding back. They're really trying to hold back. Ooh, we got the Emperor. Wow, that's interesting. Look at that. Emperor and Empress came out right next to each other. Isn't that wild? So I think they're a lot more hurt than you know. They don't really have the faith that the two of you ever could turn this into anything successful. I don't, at least right now, I'm not seeing them playing games. Not right now. That if they have, I'm not saying they never have, I'm just saying that energy's not coming through now. It's hard to say what this person wants. It almost kind of feels like this person either wants one of two things. I either want to get with you and let's make this fucking happen, or I want to fucking forget that you exist. There's no in between. You know? And they have no faith that the two of you will ever be able to make this work. But there's no way in hell they're forgetting you exist. You take up so much fucking space in their mind. Your goddamn foot is sticking out of their nose. That's how much space you take up in their head. So, let's just get the advice. What's the advice? All right, last shuffle, last one. Ooh, Four of Wands reversed. Chariot reversed again for the third time in a row. It was in the last spread too. I didn't call it out. I brought it out in the first spread. It was in the last spread. Now here, that's the Cancer card. So, Strength card again. All right. Well, all I really think I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure I've already told you all this, but pretty much when it comes to this person, what you got's what you got. What you got's what you got. Especially those of you who have been on and off with this person. I'm especially talking to you when I say that. If you've been on and off with this person 3 or 4 times, you'll be on and off with them another 3 or 4 times. Another 8 times, another 16 times, 15, 16, 17, 20, 30. What you got's what you got. That's all I'm going to say here. I'm not going to tell you what to do, though. Not going to tell you what to do. If you want to make the conscious choice to keep looping around in circles and going on and off with this person, then that's totally cool. But don't get trapped in an on and off cycle thinking that it's going to magically change one day, because it's not. That's one of the saddest fucking things to sit back and watch. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen it before, right? And I know it's different when you're in it. Oh, I get it. I get it 100%. But it is sad to sit back and watch. When you see somebody just keep going on and off, and you try to tell them, you already know. It's like, goddamn, how many times are you going to let them do this to you? And in their mind, I think they're so attached to the version of that person that they've created in their mind that they're holding on to hopes that one of these days they will actually become the person that they want them to be. They're refusing to accept the fact that the person that they really are is not the person you want them to be. So I think they're thinking that one of these days Tinkerbell's going to fly over you, sprinkle pixie dust on you, and fix your relationship. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So all I'm going to say is the cycle will repeat itself. I'm not going to tell you to just walk away from it. I'm not going to tell you that. That won't help you. If you go into it willing, knowing that the cycle's going to repeat itself, then more power to you. More power to you. Do what you do, boo-boo. All right, shifting gears now. Let's see how things are looking for the singles. How are things looking for the singles? Single Cancitians. Who's coming in next? For those of you new to my channel, I do general personal readings on my website where I read your situation just like one of these readings, where I do past person, current love interest, current relationship, what's coming in next. That's something relatively new that I added to my website 2 or 3 months ago. People love those. Probably just because they're so cheap, but I like them because they're so easy and efficient and to the point. Anyway, let's see how it's looking for the singles. Empress reversed. Well, some of you might have a temporary soul contract due to come in. Somebody who needs to come play a role in your life, but not a permanent role. Yeah, you're connecting. I think a lot of you are about to have somebody make their way into your life for one reason, and that is to alter the course of your life path. This rarely comes up for a general reading on my main channel here. Rarely. I can only think of a little handful of times that I've seen this come out. But right next to the Empress reversed, some of you all may be in need of a course correction. So these can be some of the most intense connections you've ever felt in your life. They have to be. If they weren't, it wouldn't work. But they can also be some of the most painful, because this is meant to put you on a very specific path. Very specific. And it's gonna work. Oh, it's gonna work. You ain't gonna have a clue what's happening, but it's gonna work. Definitely. Now, this isn't something that has to happen. This usually only happens for one of two reasons. Either A, you're straying way off in the wrong direction, or B, your next path is going to be so difficult to find that you wouldn't be able to find it on your own. I think it happens to everyone. Happened to me. I know that it happened to me twice that I know of. The last time of which is what led me here. What do you think led me here? You think I sat down and planned this bullshit? Absolutely not. I had to encounter one of these. I never in a gazillion years would have ever chosen to sit down and do this on my own. Somebody had to make their way into my life and shove me onto that path. I think it happens to everybody. I could be wrong on that for one reason or another. But you're getting really, 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 really close. Really close to where that may be something that needs to happen here. It very well may. Wow, that's weird. That doesn't come through very often at all. But, boom. Let's usually not a very fun experience. Let's see what kind of advice we can get for this. What kind of advice can we get for this? Three of Swords. These kind of situations can sometimes be difficult to avoid. And again, if you could avoid it, the universe wouldn't need to do this. Honestly, there's not a whole lot you can do when this happens to try to avoid it, though. The only thing you can really do is pay very close attention to universal nudges. And this is the hard part, man, because we live in a society, in a world, in a system that has pretty much conditioned all of us to operate mainly on ego. You know, trying to figure everything out with logic. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's a time and a place for that. But to a very large extent, there's going to be times where we have to take a crazy leap of faith that sounds crazy. There's going to be times where we have to just let something crazy happen, right? Without trying to control it. I think that's the biggest thing that you could do to avoid the universe having to shove you onto a different path. Is that when we get too locked into trying to control something and trying to force something to happen in a way that it obviously doesn't look like it's wanting to happen, or trying to prevent something from happening that it's pretty much gonna fucking happen no matter what you do. White knuckling the steering wheel and trying to force things. Trying to force things to happen or prevent things from happening, one way or the other. And letting fear hold you back. You know, don't sit around wasting too much time deliberating the should I's. I would have to say that that's probably among my most frequently asked questions are should I questions. You know? And after a certain point, you got to make a decision. Should I do this or should I do that? Well, at the end of the day, if the universe wants you to take a certain path, you ain't going to need to figure out if you should. The universe is going to have its foot on your ass, shoving you onto that path. And if you fight against it long enough, and that's when this has to happen. Then the universe will bring somebody into your life, and it's going to be one of the nearest and dearest members of your soul family. You are going to feel the deepest fucking connection with this person, and as soon as they got you hog-tied and lassoed at the deepest level of your soul, pew, they gone. And now this person owns your fucking mind. And basically what it's doing is it's energetically dragging you, kicking and screaming down a path that you never would have found on your own. And it's not going to make sense. Good luck trying to make it make sense. You ain't going to figure it out. Not until it's done. If you could figure it out, it wouldn't have to happen. You're not just going to be able to release this and let go of it. Not until it's time. If you could, it wouldn't work. So try to pay attention to universal nudges. If it feels like the universe is trying to force something to happen a certain way, step back and let it happen. If the universe is not wanting to let something happen a certain way, step back and release it and leave it alone. If you're being shoved in a new direction and your life is arranging itself in a way that's trying to force you onto a certain path, after a certain point, let go and say, okay. It's all about balance. I'm not saying just be a fucking leaf in the wind aimlessly. I'm not saying that only dead fish go with the flow. I'm not saying spend your life fighting against the current, stuck in one spot, not going nowhere. I'm saying there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place to fight against the flow. There's a time and a place to let go and go with the flow. Learning how to discern when is the time and place to do the former or the latter is of paramount importance in regards to your spiritual path and the relationship you have with the universe. If you can pay attention to that and fuck what anyone else has to say. I can't yell that loud enough. I cannot yell that loud enough. At the end of the day, do not let anyone's opinion of what you're doing with your life allow you to make decisions. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's going to be a point in your life at some point on your spiritual journey where it's like, hey, this is what I'm doing with my life. You can either support me or you can fuck all the way off. Which one's it going to be? It's up to you. Right? Got to throw that one in there too. Because that's another one of the leading causes of people staying trapped, is fear of other people's opinions. I know that's the trendy thing to say nowadays. Oh, I don't care about anybody's opinion. But it usually seems like most of the time the people yelling that the loudest happen to be the people who are most concerned about everybody's opinion. You cannot let what anyone thinks about you hold you back, make a decision for you, or influence you in any way. Okay? All right. I feel like those were the messages that my Cancerian family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is down here in the description. Don't forget, tomorrow, September 27th, we're doing our next round of weekly live readings right here on this channel. You can pre-order anytime on our website, anytime throughout the week. The ones that come in first get read first. Right now, the list of pre-orders is pretty small. So those of you who order now will be in the very front of the line. The video will remain on my channel permanently, where you can go back to it and look in the timestamp comments and go straight to your reading anytime you want. You can be referred to as whatever name you choose. You don't have to have your name read publicly like that. So if you want to be Virgo 1111 or High Priestess 420 or Billy Bob the Butt Sniffer, I don't care. We'll call you whatever you want to be called. So yeah, $22.22. You can read up more about that on my website. Link is in the description. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.